going over there. He getting out Monday. I'm assuming. I mean, again, I don't know all the details, but I'm assuming Tuesday, Wednesday, this one day. If he getting out Monday, the moment he sets down and sets up camp, he getting that boy. And what kind of training do you have to deal with a special needs child? Do you have the patience after being incarcerated for the last 17 years of being to be with a special needs child? It's a lot of questions to be answered. This is what shakes me up about this entire situation, man.
Right. And they're not getting away from the topic.
Oh no, man, the floor is always open, man. It's our show.
Why do black people that go through stuff like this?
You know what?
You don't see no white. If it was a white child, it was not supposed to that.
Hey, man. To be perfectly honest with you, Joe, I honestly said
with a 10-foot pole.
I said that, but okay, I'm in agreement with you. But here's something. Here's something. Even though he was found not guilty, OJ, for all intents and purposes, is assumed to be guilty of the double murder of Ron Goldman and Nicole Simpson. And those kids' grandparents fought to get those kids, and the courts gave them to OJ. Mm-hmm. So, that's a tough one, man. I mean, but I do say I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. That's the first thing that popped in my head. I was like, hold on, wait a minute, man. How you gonna let this young brother go with this dude who was potentially a murderer, who potentially set up the murder of his mom?
Right. That's what I think happened.
Yeah. I mean, we'll never know. But it's just like everything in the world say, oh man, you tried to set my man up. You tried to set his mom up. That's what everything says. But when you looking at it, it's like, wait a minute, man. How does this happen? But it does. And you know what? I'm going to take it one step further, Joe. This shows you how they treat poor people in this country. Because if anybody in this situation has some money, there's no way in hell that little boy is going with his father. If his grandmama had some of that entertainment money or attorney money, big time attorney money, or was a surgeon or something of that nature, she will be able to hire someone to keep this young man. Because I'm not saying this brother don't need to be in contact with his son, but what I am saying is, I'm like you. Hey man, this needs to be a slow, gradual situation. This dude got custody of this young man. I'm not sure if you need. I mean, because after 17 years, you can't tell me this young man ain't, this brother ain't, because he ain't no young brother. He 44 years old. So this man ain't institutionalized on some level.
Right.
So being in a chaotic situation like that, does this man have the patience to deal with a man who another young man, son or not, who has the needs that this man has?
The situation is that he's a special needs.
Right.
And I can see, it would be, alarms going up with just them being normal, but now, he's special needs.
Exactly.
So you really can't. You really should, give him, to the father.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, Joe. It's gonna be interesting, man. I'm hoping that that this works out. But the thing is, man, if it don't work out, look how tragic that is.
Yeah.
That's like, and then you could potentially, if this don't work out for the best, you could potentially ruin 2 lives. Because if Ray don't have the patience, he could hurt that young man. And if he does, exactly. Now you back in jail because you were unable to handle a situation that you or nobody else is really prepared for. Son or no son, we are not prepared. Yeah, I agree with you, man. This should be a situation to it should be a situation to whereas we are going to let this thing systematically play out instead of, hey, just go on over there, get your son, get your black ass over there, because that's how it feels to me. We sick of getting a welfare for you. Now go on over there.
That's messed up.
Yeah, it is, man. Anything else you want to talk about in the sports world, man?
That's about it, bro.
All right, man.
That's all I call you.
Oh yeah. Thanks, man. Every Wednesday from 7 to 9, every Saturday from 4 to 6, I see your name in the group all the time, man. Thanks for the support, Joe. Much love, bro.
Yeah. Love you, bro.
All right. Peace.
All right.
That was one of the brothers that's part of the chat room in the End of the Bench podcast on available on Facebook, man. He's he constantly comments. He plays a major role in the comment section on the show, and it was one of his first times calling. But like he said, man, it's a hell of a situation, man. And I want to thank and welcome Red to the show. Welcome as always, Red, first one in the chat room. Much love to you. Much love. Let me give you a little love. And like I said, man, that is a unique situation whereas you have a man who is potentially responsible for the murder of his child's mother, and now he's being released. The young man is special needs, and they are taking a special needs young man from a grandmother who has raised him from his birth and turn him over to the person who is potentially responsible for his mother's death. That is a hell of a situation right there. And I am again, man, if you have any thoughts on that, you're welcome to give me a call on any other lines. You can go 773-797-2409. Let me know what's going on. If you click the link, go into the chat room, man. And talk a little smack with us. We just have a little fun on this, the End of the Bench podcast. You know how it goes, man. Another thing that since we on football, let me go ahead and do this. The Arizona Cardinals and the Denver Broncos, I almost call them the Denver Nuggets, folks. The Arizona Cardinals and the Denver Broncos had one hell of a game this weekend, and it was full of, it starts off with Von Miller saying that he pretty much guaranteed a victory. And by guaranteeing a victory in the National Football League, you put a whole lot of pressure on yourself. But just like most big time players do big time things. Von Miller headed up that Denver Broncos defense and handed out the ass whooping of the week for the Arizona Cardinals, which subsequently led to the termination of the offensive coordinator in Phoenix. Now, I don't know if you should be doing that. At the end of the day, you don't get fired for the first game, and we're dealing with a rookie situation. That's the thing that disturbs me more than anything. You got a rookie quarterback and offensive coordinator, but one of the reasons he probably got terminated is this. You're looking at a situation to whereas the offensive coordinator, he was terminated not because this dude don't know what he don't know what he's doing, but because you are not utilizing the number one weapon on your offense, and that would be Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson is one of the most dynamic running backs in the league, and if he just signed an extension with the Arizona Cardinals, letting them know, hey man, we want you to be here, and we want you to be successful, and we want you to do what you have to do to be successful, and this offensive coordinator isn't getting you involved, then it's a problem. And I, for one, think, after further thought, maybe he should have been terminated. But it's just crazy that you get terminated. If you get terminated after 6 games in the season, It's just an interesting situation. You know, it's just a very interesting situation. Now, if you're an insider, you know, David Johnson isn't being utilized. You got a rookie quarterback, and you don't want him to start off on the wrong foot, and you put yourself in a bad situation. It's just a strange situation. It's crazy. I don't know what they're gonna do, but the Arizona Cardinals seem to be trying to get their whole entire situation online, and we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep watching, man. We're gonna keep watching, man. I just got a notification from one of the consistent listeners. I'm saying the number 257-797-2409. That is 773-797-2409. And thank you, James, for always being a participant in the show, as well as bringing that to my attention. I appreciate it, man. But back to the Denver Broncos versus the Cardinals. The Cardinals are a strange team, though. You know, they consistently have one of the better defenses in the league. They consistently have great draft picks. You got David Johnson, one of the best dynamic running backs in the league. You got a young quarterback in Zach Rosen. And for whatever reason, they can't get the thing in order. They have a rookie coach, and that could be a part of the problem, too. And I look forward to continuing to watch them. It's going to be an interesting situation. It was week one, but what's even more impressive, you got second-year coach in Denver doing his thing and putting himself in a situation to whereas he's doing the damn thing. So Denver is a middle-of-the-road team right now. They definitely, what they lack is a consistent quarterback. Like most teams in the NFL. Most teams in the NFL don't have consistent quarterback play, therefore it leads to them playing underachieving and having low expectations. At some point, somehow, some way, we should be putting ourselves in a situation to whereas they will put themselves in a situation so at some point they will succeed, hopefully. Because at the end of the day, you need these dudes to do something besides throw interceptions and live down to expectations. This is sad commentary what's going on in the NFL, and I've spoken about this several times, and it's almost beating the dead horse at this point, to whereas why are we constantly putting ourselves in a situation to whereas these dudes are not being trained properly? How is it that we're at a professional level and we are not able to develop professional quarterbacks? As I've said, week in, week out, day in, day out, these dudes are getting paid to develop talent, not to fit talent into their situation. And until they get it until they get that through their head, and coaches stop trying to make people do what they want them to do and start getting them to do what they're supposed to do and make them the best player as possible, we will continue to have these situations. So with that situation, I'm going to move on to the next. So I'm going to do these in groups of 4 or 5. And the next game I'm going to cover is the Tennessee versus the Los Angeles Chargers. The Tennessee Titans versus the Los Angeles Chargers. The Los Angeles, there in Wembley Stadium, they're going to play tomorrow morning at 8:30 in the morning. It is an interesting situation. Me personally, I think this whole fly to Europe thing is kind of stupid, because football is a taxing enough sport without adding a 16-hour flight in the midst of this, or 8-hour flight depending on where you are in the league. But being in the air that long, that's a whole lot to go on top of your body, on top of a man, 300 pounds falling on you on a regular basis and things of that nature. So what we need to do is figure out a way to showcase these games without always sending these young men overseas. I understand it's about the bread. I get it. I know how that works. But at some point, somehow, if you're going to keep telling me about we making the game more user-friendly for people who aren't healthy, we make it. Angry Black Man, what's up, man? What's good? Welcome to the show, bro. Thanks for joining in, man. Much love. But if we gonna continue to create this narrative that we're making the game more user-friendly and more safe for everybody involved, why the hell are you putting these people on 8-hour flights and telling them to play ball at Wembley? You want the people in Wembley to play, and now you've always heard things in the background about, hey, you've heard things in the background about, hey, man, We want